Record. All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to our team call. So I'm super excited tonight because I just wanted to share all the little tips that I learned over the weekend. So for those who actually, let's say you're watching this recording and you don't know who I am, my name is Natalie and I am the leader of Team Pure Simple Fitness. So I am under Angie Green and her team is Team Dynamite. And I have been working the business actively for 6 years now, but I've been a coach for about 8 years. So oldie, I'm a veteran. I was introduced by my sister after she had a pretty good transformation after having her second baby. And like most of us, right? We join for the discount and then we love the community and then we slowly progress into coaching. And for me, I've just really now embraced are vital behaviors and what that can do just for my life in general. And that's what I try to look at it is if you can just sprinkle these vital behaviors into your daily life, it can really make all the difference. And so I've been that coach where I've really never put like a lot of pressure on myself when it comes to rank advancements, making a certain amount. In the beginning of my journey, I do have to say that I did feel that pressure at points from my upline Angie, like, oh, because in the beginning, I think I felt like many of you, when you're newer coaches getting started, hearing about ranks, earnings, and all this stuff that these coaches are doing, it can be overwhelming and it can feel like, I don't know if this is my thing. And that's how I felt at the beginning, actually for a long time. So I just kind of like just did a little bit. But then when I really started to take action and dive in and more and really make it about just helping other people, that's kind of like how Team Pure Simple Fitness evolved. It was just about great community, bringing people in, helping people along the way. And it turned into, I was like, okay, I hit Emerald. Okay, I hit Diamond. And then our team really bonded when we underwent our first February team cup. And I think that, ladies, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's 4 or 5 years ago now. And that's when we really thought, you know what? We can do something with this business, all of us. And it wasn't until I attended this virtual conference this weekend that I realized, you know what? I need to do a better job of creating vision for my team because I realized that it's possible for many of us to be in this situation where you are a 1-star diamond, or even if it's hitting diamond and getting to an event like the new leader conference. And so that's going to lead me into, I created a little PowerPoint for you guys tonight. So I'm going to share my screen now. And then let me know if you guys can see it. All right. All right, can everybody see that? Okay. All right, I'm just gonna put it on the. All right, so what is the new leader conference? So what is it and how can you get there? So the first thing I just wanted to share with you guys was what you should be like. Basically, you're only allowed to attend this event once in your lifetime. So you are invited to this event when you become a lifetime 1-star diamond or lower as of the last. So basically it's like within that year, you have to have qualified rank or a paid rank of 1-star diamond or higher for 6 consecutive bonus weeks between the year. And thirdly is earn 10 or more leadership points between January 1st, like for the year. So, and then as you can see, that second part of the slide is just how to earn those 10 like leadership points. And I'm not going to get into all of that tonight, but basically, I would say if you are an Emerald coach with quite a bit of cushion behind you, that means you are on your way to hitting diamond. Okay, so you need to start to look at what is this to attend this event? Like, what do I need to do to attend this event? And then talk to your upline, talk to your coach, and then basically you reverse engineer from there. So for myself, guys, like this is pretty embarrassing, and Jackie will call me out. I was like, oh my God, guys, I got invited to this event. I didn't even realize I hit it. Like 3 weeks ago, I was like, oh, I would have been able to go to like Las Vegas and I was going to be flown out. Like I didn't even realize. And I hit 2-star diamond this year. And I think that my goal was just, I was just trying to help people. And then it turned into that. But I want you to know that, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this. When you create that vision for yourself, you might be able to actually get there sooner. And I think that's one area that I struggled with because I never really looked at the business side of things. So just know you can have fun with the business, but it's also really important to educate yourself because if you see that vision, then you're probably going to be able to hit it sooner than someone like me who kind of took that lackadaisical approach. Okay? All right, so moving on. I just wanted to share exactly. So you'd want to look at that first slide right here, active 1-star diamond. So just so for those who aren't aware of like what a rank looks like, so this would be what you would be aiming for in order to get to this event would be that 1-star diamond. So you must be a diamond yourself, and then you must have one personally sponsored diamond, and you must have a minimum of 10 personally sponsored coaches, and that's including your personally sponsored diamond. So you can see that with the little circles there as well. The green one is your emerald, the yellow one is your active diamond, and then the other ones are your coaches. And so again, your upline, your coach can talk to you more about what that looks like. But this is what I'd like all of you guys to do. If you're a coach right now looking to hit emerald, you know what I want you to do? I want you to print, or I want you to take a whiteboard. Okay. I want you to take a whiteboard and draw out what that looks like and put that somewhere where you can see it often. And maybe you're writing down the names of the people too that are fitting those coach slots or the emerald or the diamond. So again, you have that vision in front of you. Okay. All right, moving on. Okay. So one thing I learned during the conference was, so the coaches, right? I was able to connect with a lot of 1-star coaches, some 2-star coaches. And then this event was being led virtually, but it was the same speakers that would have spoken if I went to the event in person. And a lot of them were our top coaches. And they were basically saying the same thing. You have to have a system if you want to be able to reach these certain ranks. Okay. But it's not like one system is going to work over another. And it doesn't mean that you might not start with one system and figure out this one's not going to work for me, but this one might. But you have to have a system and you have to track your business. I don't care if you're a coach with one person under you or if you're a coach with like 5 people under you, start now, because I didn't start till way later in my business and I realized what the importance of this is. And so this is what I'm going to go into. So systems for one, again, do what works for you, but make sure you have a system. And this includes whether some of you, your systems might be digital, right? Others, it might be like using Google Streak. Other systems might be pencil, okay? And we'll get more into the tracking component. Using power hours for structure, but also for inspiration. So if you don't know how to get started, that's why Jackie and Danielle have been talking a lot about getting on a power hour. There's some of us that we can sit down and we know what we need to do. Like Sarah D, she's someone that she's like, I can sit down and I can right away know what I need to do. But for some of us, we need a little bit more structure, or we need that inspiration. Like, oh yeah, I didn't realize I could do that. So a lot of times that's what those power hours are for as well. When you sit down to do your work, it's got to be focused work, guys. So that means like if you only have 20 minutes in your day, maybe you're setting a timer, like I have to do 10 minutes of this and 10 minutes of that. And then it might be 20 minutes later in the day, 10 minutes of this, 10 minutes of that. You don't have to. That's one thing I realized. A lot of these successful coaches, they weren't necessarily doing this full time. They all started just like us, busy full-time working moms or full-time working women, and they fit it within their day. And then they might have got to a point where they were able to go part-time. But for that 2 to 3 years, maybe they were doing those focused minutes and they were adding up. And then make sure that you're setting like realistic expectations for yourself. And so this is something that you can talk to your coach about. Keep your actions attainable for you. So a lot of times too, we can in the beginning sit down and be like, I want to do this, 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 this. And then we get overwhelmed, right? And I think a lot of us were feeling that right away, even in the beginning of this Team Cup. You're seeing all of these resources coming at you, and all of the coaches saying, you got to do this, 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 and this. Don't let that overwhelm you. Just know that we're here to present that for you and to help you be able to set these specific goals for yourself. But don't feel like you're going to be disappointing anyone if you can't hit those all right away. Work with your coach on setting goals that are realistic for you so that you have those small wins to be able to carry you forward. And then talking about tracking, make sure you guys all check out the new BAT digital tracker. So that's our business activity tracker. Some of you might want to just print it, and still, if you're a paper kind of gal, a lot of the coaches, what they do is they'll print the BATs and have them, you might print 52 for the year, and that's going to be your tracking for the year. It doesn't have to be anything special. You can just use what's in the coach online office. Some of the coaches I saw during the call, they created their own personal checklist. So they might have taken the BAT tracker and they made it into their own to fit into their own schedule, or maybe like added some things in there and they make it look all fancy. And so that's what some of them did as well. Always, like, this is a big one for me, but I've always said, right, you're trying to always include the vitals in your daily life. And then we track to hold ourselves accountable, guys, but it's also be able to see whether the actions that we're doing are lining up with our goals and expectations and lining up with our success. So I hear this all of the time. Okay, you're feeling defeated, you're feeling down, you're feeling like you're not getting anywhere. Do you have a tracking system to be able to look back to see, why did I not have a successful month last month? And if you are doing something that is consistent where you're using the BAT, a lot of times you can go back and see how many people did invite, what were the actions that I was doing? And usually, guys, it lines up with the success that you're having. And so that's one thing that's been super eye-opening for myself, is I'm like, I do not track enough to be able to know why I didn't have that success last month. All right. Okay. Next, so building confidence as a coach, how to build confidence. So they were talking a lot about, obviously, Beachbody, they're always pushing, right, like all the products and stuff. But I think it's important to know too that you don't have to know all of the products, but the products that you are using, make sure that you are sharing with your audience personal experience with the product. So if you're first getting started and you're unsure how to talk, right? A lot of it's about how you talk and how you're communicating with your prospects. And so the best way to get started is just use your personal experience. Literally share why this has helped you, whether it's the fitness, whether it's the Shakeology, we all know that. So that's what I mean by the personal experience. Educating yourself. So this is something that I'm going to get into in that second component, is they were sharing how we're going to have a lot of new nutritional education now that they're going to continue to work on. So if you guys didn't know, Beachbody actually has, they have hired people that literally just do the marketing for the nutrition. So someone might just be in charge with how to help us be able to communicate with others on Shakeology or any of the new nutrition products coming out. Be a sponge, guys, every single day. And what I mean by that is, I've gotten to a point now when I wake up, I'm always thinking about how can I learn more today about health and wellness and fitness and mindset. It's just it's exciting now. It's just a part of my life. When people ask me, what do you do? A lot of times I want to say like tonight I was at my primary care doctor. You guys will be happy. I went to see a primary care doctor, and she asked me about how much I work out and all that. And I was like, oh, I'm an online health and fitness coach. And I was like, it felt kind of awkward talking about it. And then I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to be proud of this because I get excited talking about that. And so be proud of what you're doing and know that it's all about waking up every day and just soaking it all in. How can you learn more about what it is that we do? Because that's going to lead you to a place where you're going to feel a lot more comfortable sharing. Okay, I probably heard this throughout the conference so many times. results are crucial to the business. And this is what they meant. I think Danielle D'Antoni did a call on this too, like a long time ago. And she said, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you have nothing to share, when was the last time you committed to a program from beginning to end and you went all in with the fitness, the nutrition, and the mindset? So that's something that you have to, and that means also, guys, taking those before pictures, taking those measurements. That means you have to do that from beginning to end and give it your 100%, because most of the time you're going to come out of it after, most of our programs are like 60 days, or, even the ones that, might only be 6 weeks, you're going to still see big time changes if you're committing fully and being focused. And so if you're feeling stuck and you haven't done that in a while, that's something that you truly have to do. And we continue to do, because the more that we do it, we do see those results, right? So that's something that they reiterated over and over again. Practice, right? Practice makes perfect. We can all build our confidence. And then I put on there, fail forward. So just know, as a new coach, even veteran coaches, we're constantly failing, but don't look at it as, oh, I'm a failure, I'm not going to be good at this. No, we have to learn the hard way. Like, I actually, guys, I didn't send it out to you guys today, but you know how Facebook memories comes up? Like, I actually go and look back a lot, and I look back on something 8 years. No, I think it must have been 6 or 7 years ago, because that's when I started. I did a post where it was when 21 Day Fix was launched. It was a picture of the 21 Day Fix, like the box. And then I did like a promo, like, who wants to join me for that? I was cringing. So just know, like, that's how I started out too. Okay. All right. Next up, the education component. So real quick, I just wanted to let you guys know, so you want to jot this down. There's going to be updated nutrition education resources, and you can learn more about our nutrition products, and it's going to be accessible via the Beachbody Champions page. So if you're not a member in that Facebook group, make sure you join, and it's in unit section 8, and they've added a ton of nutritional videos in there. They are awesome, guys, because they are current. You get to hear from Darren Olean, you get to hear from Carl. And then also they mentioned how the nutrition guide can be downloaded. And then also, as you guys know, there's always resources in our coach online office. All right, Instagram. So there was a really good talk on Instagram, and our girl, Emily Favre, she was the one who led this call. So who follows Emily? Do you guys know who Emily Favre is? Okay. If you don't, it's okay. You don't have to follow her. But she's a mom to a toddler, a daughter who's almost 2, I think. She might have turned 2 already. And she actually, her background is she comes from foster care. And so she really centers around, well, there's a lot about her. But the one thing, she's a coach under the top coach, or she used to be the top coach. My God, I'm drawing a blank.
Ashley Molstead.
Thank you, Jackie. Ashley Molstead. And Ashley is all about just being you. And so Emily is all about you. Sometimes you would go to her page and you won't even know she's like Beachbody or health and fitness. And that's what it's all about. So I'm going to just quickly go over her takeaways and points. And so the first thing she said is serving your audience. All right. So this is whenever, and guys, this can apply to Facebook too. So if Facebook's your platform, you can still apply it. But she's a Instagram guru, and she has built her account this way. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about specifically. So always giving, always sharing. You have to think about it as you are constantly adding valuable information to your audience, and not necessarily just fitness related things too, right? So non-fitness related things. She was mentioning how, I'll get a little bit more specific with this, but she shares a personal transformation weekly. So she has actually scheduled IG content that she lays out on a weekly basis. Okay, she mentions reels are the real deal. So I know it's so hard, right? In a time where social media Like there's so much out there and so much you can do. And it's like, you learn one thing and then something else comes out. But she said, if you really want to grow your Instagram, it's all about utilizing Instagram's newest features. If you're on the app more and using more of their newer features, your stuff is going to be shown more. So she said, try out Reels, try to get comfortable with it, put yourself out there more, learn more about it. I know I tried it for like a week and then I was like, I forget how to do this again. And I never went back to it, but this is something now I might explore after hearing her. All right. So she was saying things like, look at it like for when you follow other accounts, what stops your scroll? So like when you're scrolling, what stops you, right? And looks at certain accounts. And that's what you need to do. You need to pretend like you're going into your account, and when you scroll through it, like how does it look to you? Does it look inviting? Are you excited by it? Do you look at it and think, oh, would people want to share my stuff with others? Is it funny? Like she's someone that she does a lot of humorous stuff on hers, or she might share some humorous stuff. So those are things that too, you want to make your account light too. It doesn't always have to be about fitness or health. You want to be able to share you and all other areas about you too. Really allow people into your life to see your personality. She was mentioning something about, I wasn't familiar with this, but she said also to make sure you're using viral sounds on your reels. So I'm going to have to check that out. But she said that can really captivate your audience. And then what I mean by using trends is, again, you want to be able to use the app and use the newest trends that are on there. All right. And then structure to your IG. So this is something that she said she has a weekly plan to her posting. So for her, she always does a non-fitness related thing on Wednesday. For her, she has, it's called a Big Bow cooking show. So with her 2-year-old, she'll have her cook a recipe, like legit. She like films her and edits it. And that's what she posts every Wednesday. So her audience always expects that on a Wednesday. So that's why it is important sometimes that you are sharing the same thing on the same day. If you're noticing that you're getting a lot of engagement there, that you stick with that, because then people expect that on those days. She does what's called Friday finds. And then she recommends doing a transformation post on Sunday with a call to action. So she said she always does it on a Sunday. When people go to her scroll, they're able to see that the transformation is always in that section. And then there's always a call to action there. She said, what are you doing on a Sunday? You're usually sitting around, like most people are like watching football, something like that. So you want to do something that's eye catching. I've had other coaches say to you, you might want to do like a coach like opportunity post on a Sunday as well. All right, next, how do I market myself? Market you, right? So there's a ton of Beachbody coaches out there, but there's only one you. So that's what you have to think about. What makes you different than everybody else? Consistency, right? I don't want you guys, never give up on yourself. I want you guys, I know it's hard sometimes, but I promise you it's consistency. It's showing every day in your social media that's going to make a difference, because when you reach out to those people, like in the inviting or in the one-on-one messaging, and they might say no in that moment or not now. And then when they're ready, if you stopped sharing, they're probably not going to be reaching out to you, but they're going to be reaching out to you if they say, oh, look, she's still around. She's still doing that thing. Man, she's still like super inspiring. And they're going to actually message you or contact you because you were that person that continually showed up for them. Again, use the IG tool often, be different. And then remember, right? We all start somewhere. So Emily was saying that she often will go back to her Instagram from when she first started to now, and she'll see like she only started out with maybe 5 likes or like, so many followers. We all start somewhere again, right? It's okay to be a beginner. Oh, and another thing that she mentioned, so I know Sarah C was talking about this a lot, was she's been researching hashtags and stuff. So for her, Emily said she doesn't use hashtags, but I think that's because she's at the point now where she's got a lot of marketing already. Like she already has plenty of people contacting her. But she mentioned that if you are using hashtags, she said she has a coach right now who has been Googling hashtags like for the week or hashtags for that day, like which ones are doing well for the day. And she said that's working for her. So, and she said that she's a fan of always using Google for everything. She trusts Google, and she seems like someone that she's constantly doing research too when it comes to Instagram and how to grow your account. So remember, guys, you can use YouTube, you can use Google, like even with the business. It's all about if you want this for yourself, you can make it happen, right? We all know this is a business that you have to do, like you have to legitimately be interested in. And the more that you take action and the more that you learn, a lot of times you realize that, wow, this can be exciting. And usually that's when you start to see success as well. All right. Um, okay, so this is for our, let me just put this out of the way here. Okay. Okay, so first, coaches, this is for, so this might be like our emeralds and diamonds, or even like if you're a coach getting your first coach started. Some of the coaches were talking about like how they get their first coaches started and engaged. And many of them said a lot of times they'll find first, like, what's the method that you want to communicate, whether it's cell phone, email, whatever platform. And then they create a checklist for them. And then when they've accomplished that checklist, they say, come back. And that's how they keep that conversation going or their business moving forward. Make sure that you are relating with your newest coaches. It's easy for us to like talk about certain things, but sometimes you got to take a step back and remember, wait, when I first started coaching, how did I feel, right? So make sure you're putting yourself back into their shoes too and try to relate with them. And then they just said, you got to love on them. You got to show up for them. You got to show them that you care, not even just about the coaching component, also about like their personal life, just like we do with our fit community, right? And then remember, this is important, guys. You want to work with the ones that are showing up, right? And so they obviously went over like a percentage of like where you should be doing like most of your time. But for the ones that are communicating with you and asking questions and stuff, those are the people that you want to love on and you want to continue. They're showing you that they're interested in. And for those that don't communicate like at all, like you can't look at that as a failure for yourself. It's just not the right time for them. And it doesn't mean that maybe they're going to quit. Maybe just for now, they're okay being a discount member, and that's okay. And they'll come back when they're ready. Or maybe it might be in 2 or 3 months, you might reach out and ask, how are you doing? How are things going? Would you be interested in like getting started again? Or, and it's just like when we start with our fit community members, right? It's the same concept with coaching. So just know anyone can turn in from a discount member to a hobby coach to an active coach at any point. Like most of the coaches, that's what they were saying. Like I started as a discount member and then like I went to an active coach and then it was like back and forth. So that's the thing. You can always make that choice. And just know, guys, if you're a coach on this call and you're new and you're intimidated and you're like, I don't know, like just know this is for you too. Like it's okay to start it as a beginner. It's okay to like go all in at certain times, but as long as you're having fun with the process, then it can only be good, So just remember that. And then lead by example and be there for them. All right. Okay, bod group. So Jackie's gonna love this one. Okay, so I'm just going to talk about some of the benefits just because this call was done by Danielle Natoni and Brittany Leggett, and they use bod groups, and they said a lot of the top coaches do. And I think in the beginning they were probably forced into it because they're like, a lot of them are on these advisory boards, and Beachbody probably tells them, no, you're going to utilize this platform, And I'll get into this in a little bit, but Danielle kind of shared a story that I thought was nice. So, okay, the benefits of bod groups. This is one that Danielle said. It is going to be the ability to reconnect with prior customers or customer leads. So if you didn't notice that yet, this is a biggie, because now when they log into their coach on, or when they log into Beachbody On Demand, what do they see there? They're going to see these groups, these bod groups. If you're their coach and you're running a group, they're going to see that you're running a group. So that right there might give them reason to reach out to you. But also when you reach out to them, they're going to be able to see that there's this platform there for them right away. And it is an opportunity to invite those prior customers, because you can do it too, right from your coach online office. Brittany Leggett had saying, she said, I do, we do, you do. So this is for her coaches that just get started. What she does is she says, I'm going to run a Beachbody On Demand, or I'm going to run a bod group, and you're going to be in it with me. Then we do it together. Then she does one together, and then with them. And then now you're going to open up your bod group and run your own. It doesn't matter if you have one or two people. And she said that's how she gets her newest coaches started. Okay. And then she had a really good point about, she said on Facebook, you can easily have a lot more likes, a lot more comments on Facebook, but you have to look at the quality of the people. And I don't mean quality like quality people, just quality when it comes to people that are truly invested in Beachbody, in our fitness products, in being involved in the community. She said, you're going to get people, the people who are in bod are the people that are legit, because they're the people that most likely want to be tracking and want to be utilizing our resources and see the true value in it. So you can't, where she said Facebook is more like a popularity thing. So she sees more quality with bod versus Facebook. So I thought that was an interesting point. And then the bonus is the ability to track, have the app sync with the group, which we all know. Okay, so how do you utilize, start just opening up a bod group for your newest community members, make it simple, try a free group. These are all just examples of when we switch. Oh, and this is the Danielle Natoni story. So she was saying how, do you guys remember, for those who are around, when we were using the DVDs, like before bod even existed? Yes, guys, there was a day there was no bod, and we put in, when you purchased a challenge pack, you got one program with your Shakeology, and you did that program. And then when another program was launched, you had to buy the programs. And so you were buying every time a new program was launched. And I remember when bod was being introduced, the coaches literally freaked out. They were like, how are we going to make it? How are we going to earn? How are we going to, it was like the change, it's change. Change is scary. And she was saying how there was such a pushback with that, but look how it turned out. Now, can you imagine life without bod? Like, we have so much available. So she said the same thing for bod groups. It's only going to get better. And you have to think of it as, let's say one day Facebook was taken away from us. What are we going to do? Like, Facebook, we can't control if something happens, right? Like Brittany Leggett said, there's one time where she was actually, her Facebook was shut down for a week, and she's like, I literally couldn't do anything with my fit community members, with my coaches. So this is something also that we want to think about. This is a platform that we can control, and this is the future for Beachbody and groups. So I think this is something that we all need to start to explore more of. Okay. All right, added tips and takeaways. So they really talked about how, if you're really struggling, to stay consistent, to see success, you really have to, when in doubt, you need to pull your why out. And if you haven't really thought about your why, then that's the first thing you need to do. You need to sit down and think, why am I doing this? And what is my why? Why do I get up every day and do this? If it's for your kids, if it's to provide, like, lead by example, and it's for your kids, you print a picture of your kids and you write your why on the back or something, and you have that near you. But if you have not sat down and do that, that's something that you truly have to do. It's the ones who have the biggest why that are actually going to be the most successful. Okay, buckle down on recruiting. That's a big one. They talked about that. Are you showing up as your highest self? Make your journey a priority first. Results is crucial in the business, like we talked about. They talked about how many of them have scheduled to within their fit communities where they go like live in their groups once a week, and they talk about different things. So like it might be a product one week. Like maybe you never talked about, I mean, Shakeology, we all do that for the most part, but have you ever gone in and talk about Energize? Have you talked about the collagen? Like the fit community is where you want to show up and talk about these things, because these are the people that are listening to you. And I'm not saying just that, but it's meal prep. And I know a lot of it, like we do that, but they're saying like show up for your fit community like more and try to do it at least once a week where you're going live. Okay, what time are you getting up in the morning? So they talked about like schedule, especially for people that are working the business full time. So you need to look at your schedule and prioritize, right? If you're not an early morning person, set that alarm maybe 30 minutes earlier and get up and work on your business. The business, it's a mindset over anything else, right? So if you truly want this is an area that you have to work on. We all know we got a lot of PD lovers on this call, but if you haven't been investing in your personal development, this, like every single top coach talked about that they do this every single day in the morning, like, and they're like reading books, like, and I know it doesn't have to be a book, but most of them said this is something that they literally do every single day. Okay, so I know we all hate to hear this, but when you get to this level where if diamond or 1-star diamond is your goal, it really is a numbers game. You really do. And that's why tracking is important. They were saying like recruiting and numbers, you have to do the numbers. So you have to be able to write down like how many people are you inviting, and it usually works out. So like the one girl was saying like she literally went from, there was some of these coaches that went from, they attended this event as let's say a 1-star, and they were elite within a year. So that means they were like 5-star and they hit certain criteria within a year. But the one person said she's like, I invited 30 people a day for the year. So like these people are like legit, like, but I do want you guys to know that it is a numbers game, and it doesn't mean that it has to be 5-star, but I want you guys to know, like, if diamond is your goal, then you want to set a realistic number, but you need to be doing that consistently. It's not every once in a while. So they did want to point that out. They do not want to sugarcoat that part. It is a numbers game. All right. Most coaches, it sounds like most coaches are getting their challengers, converting them into coaches. That's where it's at right now, focusing on your community members and converting them to coaches. We all know focus time, right? When you're sitting down, you're setting a timer for each task, remember to focus. And then a lot of them just talked about marketing calendar, which a lot of us have been talking about as well. Okay, so lastly, this is something that I just want you guys to think about. Like, where are you going to be at 1 year from now? And I know that there's many of you on this call that I want you, I don't want you to be me, where I didn't even have this like on my vision board. I want you guys to be able to know what is this new leader conference and what does it take to get there. And I want you to know that it is possible. And it's possible when you have your mission statement there, you have your why, you write down your goals, and the important thing is, I want you guys to know too, I want to do a better job of creating that vision for you guys. I want to be able to talk about that more, because I want that for our team and I want that for myself too. Like 2-star now is just the beginning. Like I feel like, and you know, I'm not going to say that I'm aiming necessarily for elite this year, because that's what they were talking about. Because I know for me, it's not possible to be able to put those minutes in order to be able to get to elite by next year. But you know what? I think we can be a 4-star team. And I think that's possible for our team. And I think that the more that we talk about our vision, and even for some of you, if it's hitting Emerald for that first time, like today, like I was so excited to see Sue hitting Emerald. Like seriously, Sue, you have to be excited and proud of that, because I know it's not easy. This business is not easy. But you know what? it's worth it. How did it feel when you hit that? And Sarah, how did it feel to be able to mentor her and get Sue to this point? Like, I noticed Sue this year. I noticed like her showing up in her stories, and I know it's uncomfortable and I know it's hard, but she did it. And look, she hit emerald, guys. So you can be the next Sue. If you're a coach, you could be the next Sue. You know, if you're looking at Jackie, Jackie's almost at diamond. You can be the next diamond. Sarah and Michelle, they're on their way to 1-star. You can be the next 1-star. We are all just average women. We're freaking awesome though, but we're all just, we have a common goal, right? We love health, wellness, fitness. We worked on it and we found women that we jive with and we have similar goals. And I think that's what it's all about. It's like when we talk about it more, when we talk about the business side more, we become more educated and we realize, you know what, this is realistic for us. And I think I have to do a better job of that. And I need you guys to hold me accountable too, because that's something that I've scared, like I've been scared to do that. And I'm going to admit it. Like I have been scared to push you guys out of your comfort zone because I don't want you to think like, oh no, not, you know, like I don't want to like scare you off. But I think it's the opposite. I think if we talk about it and we motivate each other and we talk about it more, I think it's inspiring. And that's what I realized on this call. I saw these women like at this level and I was like, no, I can do more and we can be that next team. So I want us to create more excitement around this. And I want you all to know that I am on your side. And if at any point you feel like, Nat, you're pressuring me too much, you communicate that. But I think that we are at a point now where we can push ourselves a little bit more. And I know that my mentor, Angie, sees that in many of you as well. And so I'm hoping that you're just as motivated as me. You weren't able to attend the event, but I do know that, guys, I got a small glimpse into like this type of event. Like it was virtual. It's pretty exciting. I got like a big package with gifts in the mail, and that was exciting, and being a part of like a Facebook group with other people. But for you guys, there's going to be no more coronavirus. Well, let's hope. And you're going to be able to attend these events live. Okay. And I have been told many times for people who attend NLC in person, it's life changing. If you have never attended a live Beachbody event, it is life changing. Think Summit. Think when you go to these events. Jackie talks about this all the time. Whenever you attend a live event, it's motivating. It lights a fire. So that's another reason too, that when you're feeling like you're down or you're unmotivated, get on some sort of live event or connect with your coach, connect with your teammates, and get online, even just listening to a top coach, because it can make all the difference in the excitement. All right, so I think that was my last slide. Yes, I'll stop sharing my screen and we can talk. Okay, let's open it up. Does anybody have any questions?
It's not a question, but my granddaughter helped me do a reel yesterday with my meal. She's only 11. And I was like, hey, you got to help me with this. So she showed me how to do it. So it's kind of fun.
Did you share it yet, Sue?
Yeah, I think on Instagram I did. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
that's awesome, Sue.
She did. I left it up to her.
That's awesome,
No,
Sue. You got to try it, right?
Yeah.
It's a little like overwhelming when things like that come out, and like I did one yesterday too, and I was like, oh my God, this is such a pain in the ass. Like it just feels like so much work, but I feel like once, you know, like anything, once you practice it, and if you can like pre-plan out a few ideas, you could film a few at once, right? And then post them. Like I have to say my engagement and my reach and everything just in the last couple of days is like way high, because I've posted a couple times and I shared a reel, and they're showing reels you can't get insights for fully yet, but it seems to be major skyrocketing. So like if you want eyes on you, that's the kind of stuff you got to do. And it's sort of like, it doesn't have to be super complicated. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing necessarily, but honestly, if you need any guidance in that area, go to Insta Club Hub. That's the Brock Johnson and Shalene Johnson, like their main Instagram business now, and they have so much free content on there to help you figure out how to do all of this stuff. It's priceless.
Oh, thanks, Jackie. I need that. I need help with reels. I feel like I take forever. I can't figure it out.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
brutal.
that's what I got it from. I watched him do that,
Yeah.
talk about that and stuff. Yeah.
I think that's another good story, is that you could also share that you worked with your granddaughter to do that. Like, that's so cool. And it's like, what a great like world, right? Where you guys can bond over something like that.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jackie. Like being real with all that. Like, I'm new to this, but I'm giving it a try. Like, it's okay to not be like perfect. You know what I mean? Like, I actually think more people would relate with you.
I was gonna say that's like way more relatable to anyone over the age of like 25 or 30, being like, how the fuck do I do this? I need a 7-year-old. Like, you know, I think it is at least, but I'm also technologically impaired. So
I think it's also cool because it shows that you're getting your granddaughter involved in your fitness world. And even though the reel might not necessarily have been like a fitness post per se, the fact that you're just like, she knows you're working on it because you have this health and wellness business that you do, like that's setting an amazing example for people who have grandkids out there. And I think that is a huge, huge like market of people out there who are trying to be healthy and setting an example for not just kids, but their grandkids. So good job, Sue.
Sorry, guys, I'm just seeing the comments now. Just wanted to make sure there was no questions. Oh, it's who is asking? It's Emily Favre. Oh, Jackie already did that. Okay. Yeah, so, and that's the thing, guys. It's like whenever you attend these events too, like the content itself, it's never like earth shattering. Like that's the thing too. Like especially like the coaches I understand if you're like a new coach, you're going to be like, whoa, but like, even as a veteran coach, we're like, sometimes I think we're always searching for the answer. Like, well, what's the answer to be successful? Like, what do I need to do? Or like, what are they doing that? And everyone says, if I hear it one more time, oh, you just have to track use the BAT every day and then you'll have like success. And I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, am I doing that? No. Like, why? So just make it simple. Like, you got to just do the vital behaviors daily and you're going to start to see success. And you got to give it enough time. But that's the one thing too. I think the motivating part is just seeing how like badass they are like at doing it. Like, some of them are like robots. It's like, but it's also just motivating to see how there's literally women of every age, every background, and you got to love a good success story, right?
While we're talking about the business activity tracker, when we say like BAT, business activity tracker, like does everyone on this call know what that means and like know where to find it? It's in your coach online office. This electronic version that they just came out with, like it was literally released like a couple of days ago, and it's a work in progress. They're still going to be adding stuff to it and also making it programmable, like so you can customize it. But for right now, it's still a great way to track it. And so for those of you who are doing our team cup, that's going to be one of the assignments is getting in there and being familiar with it. But for anyone, I think it's a great thing. Even if you're not doing, like Nat said, the precise, get in there and do the exact same one, especially if you're a newbie, take the thinking out of it and just do that, put your head down and do it, you'll have success. But also then when you're into it, what you can also do is take it and take those behaviors that are on it and make them work for you. So you might take this behavior and do it on this day, this behavior and do it on that day, or you might take these 5 behaviors and do them all in one day. So just it has the steps and the behaviors you need to do. And then you just need to figure out how to make that work for you the best. So anyway, does anyone have any questions about that since we talked about it so much tonight?
And guys, the digital one too, like it was really exciting to see that everything is in one place. Like there's trainings on there too. Like there's tabs, there's a tab for the tracking, but if you go across, you'll be able to see training, and there's all these videos that you can just click on. So if you're like in your business activity tracker and like wondering, like, I'm really struggling in this area, you can go to the video, and it's usually a top coach, like sharing their experience with it. So it's great because also when you're getting your newest coaches started, like Sue, you're going to be getting your newest coaches started. So use what's already in the Coach Online office. You do not have to make it like fancy or special. So that's the great thing now. You can just say, there's this resource and let's do it together. You know what I mean? Like check out these trainings and go from there.
If you need a training on the business activity tracker, I think that's the link I put for all the daily challenges during Team Cup as well. It's that whatever Venimo or whatever that video that also is all about it. Just so you guys know, that's why I put that there for you, so it was easy to find.
Any more questions? Should we get a picture?
Yeah, and I just want to say, Nat, again, congrats on qualifying, even though you didn't know you qualified. Guys, my mind, I was like, what? You don't even know? I was shocked, but that goes to show as well, Nat, that like that's not what it's all about for you. Like you're just doing your thing and you're bustling along, and it's not just about like getting to an event or something, which I think is a testimony, right, to all the relationships that you're creating, and that you're just, you're in it, chugging along with all the craziness of your life. But congrats for making it and for having such a great year. And hopefully this is just the start of something new. And every year we'll have people showing up at that event from this team.
Thanks, Jackie. I know it's, thank you. Thank you for always, I always have you to like recognize that stuff. I was like, oh, wow, I got an email, I got an invite. And then I looked back and I was like, yeah, it was like a while ago. Like I didn't realize. And then I didn't realize, Jackie, you might know this too. I was doing some tracking with the, so when you hit, guys, just so you know too, when you hit ranks, like, and hold them for a certain amount of time, like you'll get bonus money too. And I didn't realize I got like a big bonus, like in October. And I didn't realize until like recently, like, how do I not realize this stuff? So that's also like, this is something too, I'm saying that also you have to track things even within the business, understanding like how you get paid. Like this is important stuff, guys, because when you
coach compensation plan,
yes,
yes. Be familiar with it.
Like even understanding, like, because especially once you hit Emerald, like you need to understand that, because we can help you where you're going to place those first coaches, and it can make a big impact like later. So definitely, like Sarah said, coach compensation plan, there's a ton of videos out there on that. And then understanding once you hit these ranks, like how there's like bonuses and stuff like that. And so get familiar, if you do not know this, also with your sponsorship drill down. You go in your Coach Online office, what is it? Business, monitor your business, sponsorship drill down. That's where it's going to show your hold down line, and that's where you can access everything. We can help you guys with that, but just don't be a Natalie. I am learning now. I'm going to do better now. I'm going to do better now. And that's why I want to be able to share that with you guys too, so you can do better too. All right, let's take this picture because my battery's going to die.
Okay. Who's got
it? Who's going to take it?
I can do one.
Jackie, do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let me get the, all right, everyone, are we just smiling? Okay, and now do something funny.
Silly? Wait, I'm laughing. I don't. Okay, we're not going there.
Those were just stills.
We had an inside joke the other night.
This is why we're not the Reels crowd. We can't even take a silly picture.
No, you're right, Lauren. Lauren, I have to say, it's so good to hear from you. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you guys. Sarah's been a little AWOL.
It's okay. You're back for this month and then we're going to keep you.
That's the plan. Work be damned. It was a rough month. Lots and lots of presentations. I don't know why. So busy, but
Well, it's good to see you. We missed you.
yeah, good to see you guys. I miss you guys too. Excited to dial into Team Cup.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
All right, guys, have a good night. Thank you for spending your hour with me.
Way to go, everybody. Thanks for showing up.
Sarah,
Yeah.
you're a
Yes.
bright
Thanks
nerd.
everyone for getting on.
Good to see you all.